Followed an RPG veteran Josh Sawyer says most players don't want games, quote, 6 times bigger than Skyrim or 8 times bigger than The Witcher 3.
I will argue that the industry trend is that people want shorter, smaller games.
Yes.
That's it doesn't mean there aren't people like us that want huge games, but the trend industry wise is people want more bite-sized. I can actually see myself beating this game type of games. And games like that are 50 plus hours, a lot of people just won't play because they're so long.
In Sawyer's view, it doesn't matter whether players actually finish games they start as long as they enjoy the time they spend in those games. He pointed to RPG classics Skyrim and The Witcher 3 as examples of sprawling games that many players don't finish but still hold in high regard. Some players really need to finish the game, but I would say most players, including myself, I'm not that concerned with finishing games. If I get very deep into them, I get 80% of the way through them, then I really want to see it through. But if I have an enjoyable experience out of it, I don't need to finish it. That's not that important.
There's also something to be said about like there's many different like if you're playing a narrative heavy game, you're gonna want to know the ending. If you're playing a game like Skyrim, well, let's be real, you don't really care too much about what's going on in the main story. It's not exactly hard to put that down whenever and just do your own thing and make your own story.
He was also kind of speaking about scope and size of games. He goes on to say, quote, games got bigger and bigger and it became more and more impressive. And then at a certain point, one, supporting the volume of stuff, there's a quality dip. We're not employing 8 times the number of contractors, area designers and artists. And so things start to feel less unique and bespoke.
And this is why most of us are scared about AI.
Yeah.
Like this is the shit. Like, yeah, sure, we can get bigger games with AI, but it's just going to be vacuous, soulless things to check off in a list, to do, like content.
Yeah.
It's not going to have any soul.
Finishes and says, I don't think we need to go bigger anymore. We can kind of chill out. Within a small margin, we can make it a little bigger, a little smaller. Again, as long as the player feels like when they come out in the world that they have a big, vast space to explore, and that is a fun experience and it doesn't feel repetitive and like a grind, I think that's good. I don't mind making big games like that. I think that's fun. I have fun in those worlds, and I think a lot of players do too.